Hi, my name is Stephen Walsh and you're welcome back to another video. So with this one we're actually going to be going through almost an introduction to our top speed drills. Top speed is something that you very rarely hit when you play field sports. It's only when you get to probably like 40 to 60 meters of a sprint where you actually get closer to top speed. Whereas in the first 0 to 40 meters you're just working on acceleration and building up the speed to that point. Now that doesn't mean it's not important, because what we can do is if we can get to top speed in a training session and we can actually work on building on that and creating a little bit more force through the lower body, technique gets a little bit better and we can actually raise the ceiling of your top speed. What it actually does is it creates a speed reserve and it acts as a conditioning tool. So if you can actually run faster, it requires less energy to run at a lower percentage of the top speed. Again, I'll go through it some other day, but that's just a little bit of an idea. And at the same time, it doesn't help to be a little bit quicker as well. So straight into it, this intro to top speed is just grooving the certain aspects of top speed running that is slightly different to acceleration. You remember back to my acceleration video, if you haven't watched it, we're talking about that A position. So we've got that knee up, toe up, ankle below knee, tall posture, and then we're driving back and down, and it's more of a piston-like movement as opposed to a cycling. That's where the difference between acceleration and top speed comes in, because what we're actually going to be doing is we're going to be cycling that leg. So when you're into your top speed, so once you hit it, what you'll find is that you're less of a up and down, and it's more of an up, out, down, and then it cycles back up into the next one. So we've got a little bit of a cyclical nature of our running, which is typically why when athletes hit top speed, or if they run too fast too soon in a rehab program, or even in sports, that your hamstrings are a little bit more likely to get injured at that point. So little bit more cyclical in nature. So you'll see now as we move into our exercises here, you'll start to see why the first bit is important to get before we start moving into our more advanced exercise later. Okay, so this series here is just going to be 3 different exercises. One leads into the next one, and then when you combine them all, it's almost like the skipping series, where this starts to become a little bit of a warm-up, where you're grooving the certain mechanics of the drill so that we can lead into more aggressive stuff towards the end of a speed session. Exercise number 1 is going to be very simply, it's just going to be a high knee. So we're looking to get that knee up to hip height. So 90 degrees at the hip is where we're looking for, and we're looking to keep that ankle tucked in. So remember I spoke about it before, in the A position it's more out here, whereas in top speed our ankle's a little bit tucked. So we've got knee to 90 degrees, or hip to 90 degrees, sorry, and then we've got our ankle tucked in, and we're all the time trying to point the toe towards the ceiling. So toe up just gives us a little bit better of a foundation of when we strike the floor to actually power in and then toe off. Okay, so that's what we're looking for there. Again, going through it, trying to get that knee up nice and light on the toes. Can we get up off the floor, again, without spending too much time? We don't want to be spending too much time on the floor. Remember, when we hit top speed, the amount of time you spend on the floor is very, very small. If you look at any research into top-end sprinters, again, you're looking at about 100 to 200 milliseconds of time spent on the floor, which is very, very small. Exercise number 2 of this is going to be our butt kicks, or crack the egg. So you can call it either one you want. It's a little bit similar, but what we're looking to do is bring that heel up to our hamstrings. Again, think about if you had an egg in that position where the middle of your hamstring is, and we're looking to crack that with our heel and our calf. So we're not looking to bring the knee up too high, we're just looking to cycle into that motion of getting up off the floor quickly. Again, crack the egg, and then going through that for our 10 to 20 meter slots. The last exercise of the 3 then is going to be looking at combining both of those. So you've got our high knee and our butt kick at the same time. So what this does then, it grooves the top of that cyclical nature. So as we come out of that toe off, we want to recover quickly, bring that heel up, get that knee up into that position so that we're ready for another stride, so that we're not spending too much time out the back. A lot of times you hear people talk about front side or back side mechanics, and what we don't want to be doing is spending too much time at the back so that you've got a long recovery time before that leg comes back around and in, because that's just taking too much time. We want to go toe down, and then we want to extend the hip at the back, and then we want to cycle through that step quickly into the next one. So being able to combine that high knee with the butt kick is going to put us in a good position to groove that specific technique and get up off the ground and cycle through steps more efficiently during our top speed. And there you have it, there my 3 exercises for grooving the introduction to top end speed. Give them a try, see how you get on. Again, we're setting it up about 10 to 20 meters. Do your exercise on the way out and walk back, give yourself a little bit of time. Think about the exercise if it's the first time you're doing it, and then focus on the specific cues that I've given you there, so that we can actually be a little bit better and a little bit more efficient with our sprinting. So hope you enjoyed it. Give it a go. Let me know how you get on, and I will see you guys in the next one.